Hello and welcome back for another reading. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what is being reflected back to you today that you need to be aware of. Ooh, okay, so we'll leave both of those in your protagonist position. Let's see what is overlaying or what is the situation that is in front of you at this time. Okay. Doesn't want to be seen at this very moment. What about the immediate past and the immediate future that we are allowed to see at this time? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. What is emerging for you and what is present on your mind at this time? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and build out the staff. Okay, so we have two here in the advice position for you at this time. What about your external influence? What may be influencing you in your environment? Okay. Hopes and fears. Ooh. Okay. And outcome, please. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with looking at your protagonist energy here. Wow. Okay. So seeing that you're coming in with a lot of Neptunian energy, it looks as though you have taken an intentional dive. Whenever I see this card, or at least at this particular time, I'm always drawn to this sort of halo or this energy that's emanating from the mind. It just goes to show how active the mind is. But with you kind of hanging there, it goes to show like how active your mind is as you peer into this other realm and doing it by choice. You know, this feels very, this feels kind of playful to me, to be honest. And, you know, it's interesting, like seeing the angles of the limbs. It makes me think of how the symbol for Jupiter is 24. Now, while this card isn't traditionally associated with Jupiter, that might be something that's of significance for you at this time. So this could be a call to look at your chart, see where Jupiter is, you know, what kind of transits are available for you at this time. This purposeful descend into another realm is really interesting to me. And especially with this Eight of Wands energy in the background, it's almost as though you've taken a trip into this other realm to be able to bring something into fruition faster. I think you're looking more and more into manifestation techniques. I feel like for the past couple of readings, that's been coming through more and more. But seeing this together, I mean, this is a very ethereal card, and this one, it feels a little bit more practical, even though it is a fire energy, and that is very much related to the spiritual realm and the ethers. But it's almost like here is this ethereal realm, and here is the physical manifestation of whatever it is that you are manifesting and bringing into this realm is being delivered very quickly. What is overlaying you at this time? Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Whoa. Yeah, chills. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so what is in front of you is very like fertile ground, that these things that you are bringing into this realm. I can't help but laugh. Like, that is fucking wild. Like, really? Like, I'm just, yeah, I'm a little speechless right now. But it's clear that whatever you're doing is working. These manifestation techniques that you are putting into play, it just feels like this is a very abundant time for you. And if you don't see this abundance in front of you right now, it's like about to collapse into your reality. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. Well, we see what's in the immediate past that's influencing you at this time is moving out of this like stuckness, this mental pattern of looking at the things that remind us of what we don't have, right? Like how this figure is looking at these cups that have been spilt. You're moving away from not only that perspective, but also from that mindset. It feels as though this pattern of looking at what you've lost was a very well grooved route. But you've done a lot of that work to turn around and shift your gaze, shift your attention to what you are deciding to pay attention to, rather than this programming of looking at what is lost or of looking at things from a scarcity perspective. Instead, you are seeing what you have, and that is really helping you to kind of reclaim your power so that you can call in the things that you desire. Here in the immediate future, we see the Ace of Cups in reverse. So the Ace of Cups, I like to see this as like a divine gift of emotional intuition, something, psychic related. It can feel kind of like this really abundant overflow of insight. I find that for myself, whenever I get this new insight, it's almost as though it flickers through a bunch of salient memories, as though like a deck of like moving images, and it applies that filter to each one, and it can just like flicker through really quickly. So with the Ace of Cups, it makes me think about how we may apply the learnings to past experiences. Now, with this in the reverse though, it may feel as though there's a little bit of resistance to this coming in. Let's go ahead and look at what might be informing this resistance for you. Okay. That is interesting. So, informing your resistance, we see that you're moving out of this place of feeling really overwhelmed or inundated with emotional labor or emotional work. So it's interesting, I wasn't intending to say emotional labor, but that is interesting that that's coming out. I wonder if you have been in a place historically, and maybe that's related to this like scarcity mindset that you were in, of being stuck in situations or relationships where you were doing a lot of emotional labor. Because you're moving out of that, we see that there's a victory here. You are coming out of this lesson with so many resources, and you are being recognized. When I look at this card, I even notice the horse recognizing the rider, right? It's not only all of these people cheering and recognizing like, wow, look at your talents. Look at all that you have to offer to others. The sense of recognition for all of the hard work that you've done. And so it makes me wonder if this relationship or this environment that you're leaving might be related to some of the work that you've done. Perhaps it is, maybe it's not. Regardless, it shows that you're moving out of that, and it's going to really benefit you, and you're about to be seen. So that might be some of the resistance at this time. Sorry about that. I just had like a sneeze attack of 4 sneezes in a row. So maybe 444 might be a salient number right now, but that might be informing some of this resistance. So there's, whenever I see like an ace in the reverse, it feels like, okay, there might be something still kind of wrapping up in your auric field before it can clear enough to where this divine gift can be delivered. So it might be because you're kind of still in this process of like, as you're doing this work of kind of stepping into another realm, really helping to actualize these like manifestations that you so strongly desire, and not just like from your human self, but also from your higher self. You're seeing this abundance and you're seeing these beautiful things right in front of you. And a lot of that's being informed by this like moving out of this emotionally burdensome space. Once you do that and enter into this like victory space, I think that's when this is gonna go into the upright, and then this gift will be delivered to you next. So either way, it sounds like you are being showered with gifts at this time, which is really incredible. So in your current consciousness, or basically kind of like what's like, moving around in that cognitive space. It looks like the 9 of Wands. So recognizing that you've come a long way in a lot of this work that you're doing, especially thinking back to this like emotional burden, and moving out of that into this victorious state, moving out of that scarcity mindset and into like, this abundance mindset. That takes a lot of work, especially when those patterns have been, repeated over and over and over again. Like I mentioned earlier, those grooves or those ruts, they dig deeper and deeper. So with this 9 of Wands, it's like you're seeing the work that you've done and you're like, oh shit, like, oh my gosh, that took so much from me. And this is kind of like in that part of the cycle where you're about to like come to an end, like you've done all the hard work and now you're here, you're catching your breath. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of like hypervigilance, like look, this person's like looking over their shoulder, right? It's like, wait, is this done? Like, am I actually safe now? Am I okay? So this is like right before the 10 of Wands, which is kind of like that completion of this cycle related to the element of fire in your life. So it sounds like you're doing a lot of reflection on that at this time. So what is kind of like rumbling underneath the surface that is slowly moving forward to your consciousness is the Justice card in reverse. So the Justice card, a few things stand out to me from it. Of course, with the scales, right? It's hard not to think about balance. Like, how are things balancing out? Like, do you believe that there is a sense of fairness in your life at this time? With this in the reverse, it suggests that maybe no. That maybe like through these cycles, you breaking these cycles, you coming towards the end of it, really reflecting on how far you've come, you're seeing that there is a lot of unfairness in these situations that you are moving out of. So it sounds like as you move through these blessings, really bring these in, and as you process, like, okay, am I safe? Am I safe? Yes. Okay, I am safe. Once you feel that sense of safety, it seems like that's when you'll probably be able to start processing how unfair these situations really were and how unjust they were. Let's go ahead and take a look at your advice cards. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So for advice, we see the 2 of Wands in reverse, King of Pentacles in the upright. So the 2 of Wands, it always strikes me as like, it feels very Sagittarian energy. Here's like the 2 staffs of fire, the world in the hands of this character in the middle, which is, a representation of you in this case, looking out, pondering, like, how may I share my teachings and my insights and these lessons I have with the world? With this in the reverse, it may be asking you to pause and consider what you would really like to share with people. That paired with this King of Pentacles It seems like the reason why for this pause, or what is being suggested to you as like maybe taking a pause before you share, is because what you have to share carries a lot of power and will really help to build your public persona and how your voice will be interpreted and will be applied in many people's lives. Like, it makes me think again of the Six of Wands. It seems like you're about to be really seen. Seen by the communities that you're a part of, seen by these professional networks. If you are like looking at like career spaces, whatever communities that you're a part of, it seems like you're really about to be seen. And this is your time to really shine and express yourself and share your teachings and share your knowledge with your communities. So the advice here, it's not saying don't do it. Really it feels like the opposite. It feels like, hey, this is your time to shine. Your voice carries and resounds in all of these rooms. So take this seriously. Take a moment, pause, take a breath, and think through, how would I like my voice to be carried at this time? What are the things that I would like to share with people? Because whatever you end up sharing is going to really shape the work that you'll do in the future. And regardless of what you share, it's going to be blessed. Like, you are stepping into and sitting down on your throne. Like King of Pentacles, the embodiment of earth, the material realm, material gain. Like, look, there's a fat ass coin just sitting in his lap, in this person's lap, just right there. And he's just looking around, grapes all over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like the Empress energy and the King of Pentacles energy. There's just so much abundance like in your auric field right now. And so this is, just an invitation to slow down and really think through, like, what would I like to share with people? And getting to share your authentic voice. You know what I mean? But man, there's like a whole deck here. Well, not, I'm kind of exaggerating. There's 3 cards here of what are things that are influencing you in your environment at this time. So we see a few things. Ooh, okay. So 9 of Cups in the reverse. And then we've got the 4 of Swords in the upright and the Tower in the reverse. So it seems like there's a lot of things happening for you in your environment. And it's interesting because it almost feels like there's this contrast between, like, here's this wish fulfillment card. It's in the resistance position. So there might be, some type of interference with this wish fulfillment. It's also being paired with the Tower card in reverse. So some resistance to allowing things to shed, allowing things to shed so that we may rise anew. And what is in front of it is just that invitation to renew. So it seems like you're really aware of how things are transforming in your environment at this time. It feels like you're on the precipice of like really big change in your life. And it feels as though, I'm not sure if you can like clearly like see it, like logically, but I get the sense that you like feel it. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of sense that something is on the horizon. You're reaching that edge. Something is about to happen. And for it to be a wish fulfillment and a Tower, it shows that it's going to be a pretty profound change in your life. And so I'm glad that there's this resting card that was kind of like sitting in between. You know what I mean? Like, this also feels kind of like an invitation to like slow down and go within and allow things to get quiet for a moment. Find that pause within yourself. This makes me think about how time is experienced through us. It's not that like time is outside of us and we're living in it. time is literally being experienced through each and every one of us. And we have the ability to slow down time, to speed up time. Like, even if you think about like in your day to day, or even over the past week, you can probably think of times where like, oh my gosh, like time is dragging on, what the heck? And then other times when it's like, oh shit, like where did those hours go? This is like a reminder of that. This is a reminder that if you need a moment to recognize these big changes coming in, all you've got to do is stop. Even if it's 3 minutes, tapping into your breath, helping you anchor into the ground, anchor into your seat. Just be present for a moment, allowing things to just quiet down. It's like a nice reset button. It's not necessarily the place to like figure everything out. That's not the point. It's just to give yourself a pause. You know what I mean? Sometimes that can just make all the difference. Let's go ahead and look at what are some of your hopes and fears at this time. See, now this is like a nice chunk of cards. Wow, 5. Okay. So on the very top, 2 of Cups. So, I mean, that is already indicating like, okay, like a decision, collaboration, connection with someone. This could be about someone in your life, perhaps. But let's look at these other cards. So we see the Emperor in reverse. There's the 3 of Wands, the Hermit in reverse, the Judgment in reverse. Ooh, okay. So we see a few cards in the Resistance position. So this kind of makes me think about how hopes and fears can almost be like one and the same, right? Like how lightness and darkness are interconnected, how we're all interconnected. But seeing that we're starting off with people, hopes and fears that might be related to a relationship, or, you know, someone that's a part of that environment that we were talking about here with that Moon card in reverse. Maybe some of the fear around it, because we see the Emperor in reverse. It could be like fear of misuse of power. It could be fear of like, you know, like really wanting to speak your truth to this person, but afraid that it might come off a little too harsh. You know, this is Aries energy. And, you know, sometimes shadows of Aries can be like the impulsivity or the harshness, right? But then we also see the 3 of Wands. So there's like this understanding that like, well, I'm kind of needing to have this conversation or to complete this cycle because I'm overlooking this lake of gold. I know that there's more in front of me. There's more in front of me that I must pursue, there's just so much possibility for me. And I mean, I feel like this is just, you know, kind of confirmation of what we've talked about already, like you working through a lot of these cycles and knowing like the reasons why, you know what I mean? Like you're doing it for a reason. You know that ultimately it's in your best interest to work through these cycles so that you may embark on your next path. But it looks like there's a little bit of resistance to taking that time. And, you know, we've already talked about the concept of time with this 4 of Swords here, with like how time can be paused, right? Like we can slow down. The Hermit card is almost like the sacred pause, in the sense of like, oh, wait a minute. Seeing the Hermit in reverse, it makes me think of this Hangman card. Like even look at, you know, again, like the halo or the energy emanating around the head or the mind, and here with the Lantern. So hopes and fears, maybe there's some fear of like getting lost in those other realms, getting lost in illusion. Maybe you're questioning on like, well, is what I want an illusion? Is it actually real? Is it attainable? Like, is it okay to want that? So there's a little bit of questioning here. And related to that, questioning is making it kind of hard for you to like embark on this next path. So it seems like doubt might be interfering with divine timing, because that's, you know, with the Judgment card, it feels very much like divine timing. So it looks like there might be some fears around like, is this the right time? Is this the right time to make this decision, to make this move? Okay, and so as we look at your outcome energy, we see that there is the Four of Cups in overlay. So there may be some fears continuing to go on from what is already here. You know, these fears and doubts. It looks like some of those fears and doubts may continue into your outcome energy. This like regular thinking, you know, of like, okay, am I missing something? Am I missing something? And especially as you know, look at all of this abundance here, it seems like you have a lot of choice and a lot of power. So there might continue to be some of that contemplation happening for you. That being said, I don't think there's anything wrong with this contemplation. Again, in your advice card, it actually invited you to slow down and take a moment. And in your external influences, you know, there's a lot of things going on. And so there is the encouragement to pause, rest, go within. So this seems to really be in line with that. And this could be a good opportunity to just kind of slow down and examine what you may need at this time, or what decisions or what path you would like to embark on. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and take a look at what type of protective energy may be present for you to kind of help guide you along this path and help you make these decisions to ensure that you are practicing integrity with how you use your voice as you get to be more and more seen among the communities that you're a part of. Okay. So, oh, it looks like my candle went out. Let me go ahead and relight that. Okay. You may notice that the candle looks a little different. The candle went out and I went through a few other candles that were all mostly used, but I thought there would be enough. And I must have went through like 4 of those until I just took out like my main candle that I like to use when I engage in prayer. So that might be significant here for you as well. This may be a sign for you to engage in your own practices. It may be an invitation to engage in prayer. But regardless, let's go ahead and get back to what are some energies that you can tap into that can help you at this time. You know, earlier I mentioned integrity. Given how powerful your voice is, it seems like it would be really important for you to recognize the weight that your words carry and to really practice integrity in the things that you say and do. So we'll read the message here, but looking at the number, it's number 47. And it's a crystal goddess, so 888 may be significant. We also have card number 7, and this is sacred play. This makes me think of the hangman energy again, and even some of the colors, for some reason, even though they're not an exact match, it feels like it's pretty on theme. I don't know if y'all remember how, you know, I brought up kind of like this childlike energy with it. And maybe that's what this is. It's an invitation to engage in sacred play. But we see here it's a crystal angel, number 444. So seeing 47 and 7, 7s may also be significant for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 7. page 50. Landed on 144. We bring you the gift of sacred play. We enter your heart bringing joy and an ability to have fun, to laugh, to see the silly and playful side of life, and to be entertained by the wonderful spectacle of life. When you know how to look, you will see the joyful hand of the Creator behind so many of the people, places, and things you see every day. You will begin to feel the Creator's delight in creation, and you will feel laughter deep in your soul, a joyful connection with the universe as you realize that even in its strange and sometimes dark mystery, life has a brightness and a delight to it, a sense of humor, and a quirky, amusing, enjoyable beauty. We know there is great joy inside you, and we will help you connect with that joy now, so even your most arduous challenges will not diminish your capacity to feel the light of your spirit and take delight in your life. What a beautiful blessing there. It looks like the stone that could help you connect better with this energy is polychrome jasper. Let's go ahead and take a look at card number 47. Page 206, landed on 181. We bring you the empowerment of integrity. Integrity is the harmony between intention, word, and action. It is a discipline of love that creates inner security, confidence, and self-esteem. Integrity allows you to choose what promises you make according to the reasons that have meaning for you. It empowers you to make decisions that feel authentic and honor your values. It allows you to say no without guilt or shame because you are not willing to compromise who you are to make another person comfortable. As you honor your words and actions, doing what you say you will do, when you say you will do it, you grow power and respect within. You can express your integrity absolutely, and yet with kindness and compassion. Integrity is the gift that will bring you a powerful peace of mind and loving self-respect. This here, it feels almost like the answer to a lot of these concerns that are showing up in the staff position on the right. Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of wisdom in this card of inviting you to go within and really make sure that you are anchored in your values and in your truth, so that when you speak what you are meant to speak, that will be done so from a very aligned place and a very protected place. Well, I wish you the best of luck in this process at this time. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.